I think there are over 1 million storage solutions in the world, and after today, there will be 1,000,001 storage solutions. I probably need to do a few more improvements. I might have gone a bit overboard with If you have seen my earlier videos, you probably know I have made a couple of unique 3D printable storage boxes before. Even though these designs have been fine as their own, I think there's still room for improvement. I have this idea of making the best looking storage boxes that are easy and efficient to print, even with multicolor printing. So let's take a look what I have in mind. First I have to figure out what kind of box system would I want to make. The two obvious choices would be the stackable box system and the drawer box system. I think both solutions would be fine, but I already have something in my mind. I made a plan in my mind to design a stackable box system. The key point of my design will be on how to link different 3D printed parts together. The linking mechanism will be used to link unique patterns to the box. First off, I want to see if my idea is viable, so I made a few prototypes to see if I could use the buckle mechanism to link the parts together. So I came up with the idea to use this buckle mechanism to link the parts together. So I printed out these prototypes to see if my idea would even work out, and what measurements would be right for the locking mechanism. Still, it only took a couple of tries to get a decent version of the locking mechanism. The testing is still far from over. I still need to check if it works on the full box design. So the basic box is made out of three main components. There is the bottom piece, the top piece, and the side walls that link the parts together. The bottom and top piece can be linked together like so, but it needs the side walls to actually hold the pieces in place. It can take some force to assemble this box, and you can hear the loud snap. It ensures that pieces are linked together nicely. Even I'm a bit surprised on seeing how well this project is going. I guess there is a good reason why the buckle mechanism is so popular. Then you just put the top on in same way. And there you go, you have a nice box. Even though it takes a bit of force to assemble, I think the end result is pretty good. I made a few more test pieces to see if this was a fluke or actually a good design. These are the first tests that I made using this locking mechanism. The parts are solidly held in place without much of a wiggle, and even the lines between the pieces are barely visible. And I'll be damned, the end results say it's a good design. So now that the basic design for the box is done, I want to design the lids for the box. Honestly, I feel like I sometimes overthink things. Even the lid design can be complex in my hands. I want to get the shape right, but I feel like I'm making this harder than it needs to be. So I did end up choosing the simple shape. But there is still a small problem that I have not solved. I still don't actually know what kind of design the box should have. What kind of box should it be, since everything has been done already? Yes, this might be the idea that I need. I came up with the idea of using the emotes for the box design. I think it's a great idea. I mean, who doesn't love using the emotes? They are just fun. This is just the beginning though. The goal in the end is to have an actual box system. I think the images came out pretty cool, but sadly there is some bleeding of the black color. I designed this box to be a pen holder for me. I think it might be a bit too small, but usually the first prints are not the best prints. I guess the lid is not perfect, but yeah, it's not perfect, but it's pretty okay. I probably need to do a few more improvements. So now that the basic box design is done, it's time to start thinking about the patterns I want for the box and what use case I have for the storage boxes. In hindsight, I probably should have thought about the use cases before I started designing, but I guess this is just one way of making boxes. My design process might not be the most efficient one. While thinking about my design, I still decided to take another look on what other people have made. I found multiple different models that have gained quite a bit of popularity. It seems with functional, simple designs you can still get plenty of downloads. And I think I could learn something from this. Your design doesn't have to be so complicated all the time. Why make it complex when simple design does the job? I could definitely learn from this. Surprisingly, there's not that many models that use multicolor printing for their box designs. The most popular models seem to be really simple, which is kind of interesting. And my design will be a bit more complex, so it will be interesting to see if people even like the design. Now it was time to get serious. I have done enough talking and it's time to get to work. I designed multiple different sized boxes, different sized lids, different patterns. In my mind, this will be the best box system ever. Oh yeah, this is what big design looks like. I lost audio for the clip, so now I will have to do some improvising. I first printed out some boxes with my favorite pattern, the flower pattern. It's a pretty common kumiko pattern and I really like how it looks. I first made the two smallest boxes that I can make and used ironing on the 3D printed parts. I have to say I really still don't understand the ironing completely. Sometimes you get good results, but maybe it's just better not to use it. The assembly of the boxes works just as the same as the smaller prototypes. You first take out the bottom piece, add the four walls to it, and then add the top piece. Even though this project might look relatively simple, I have faced quite many challenges while designing this system. One of the main issues was how to organize a large project, and I still feel like I failed in that aspect. I had to do lots of manual work to design the different sized boxes, and it could all be automated if I was a better designer. I like the way these boxes turned out. This is only a small part of the project, so it's time to print the rest of the parts. A project like this certainly takes lots of 3D printing. My original goal was to make 5 different sized boxes that could be stacked on top of each other. The size of the boxes is multiples of 40 millimeters, the smallest box being 40 times 120 millimeters, and the largest box being 120 times 160 millimeters. I'm most certainly not the first person to come up with the stackable box idea. I think Gridfinity uses pretty similar stacking system. With 3D printing there are still so many limitations, so it's fairly easy to come up with the optimal 3D printable stacking system, which in my opinion looks something like this. I might have gone a bit too far with 3D printing. I got a bit carried away and made several different boxes. The basic design includes 5 different sized boxes. The boxes use same shape for the lid and the bottom of the box, so you can easily stack the boxes or the lids together. I also made a couple of different lid variations, so you have a couple of different options on how to stack the boxes together. If you want, you can even use the boxes as the lid. Patterns, I ended up doing 4 different pattern designs, and of course you can change the colors if you want. When designing the patterns, I ended up using the patterns I have used before and then designed a couple of new ones. I'm definitely not a professional designer, so I struggled quite a bit on thinking about what kind of patterns would look good for the box, and even the color choices seemed to be quite difficult. And that's why I had to print similar patterns in multiple colors, just because I was not sure of the design. I think these 3 boxes are probably my favorite designs, and please leave a comment below on your thoughts about this design. So this is how the project turned out. If you wish to download the models seen in this video, I released a couple of free models and couple of paid models. Links are in description. And if you don't want to pay for the models, you can just leave a like to show support for this channel. More information about the models can be found from the links. Now back to the video. I think the overall quality of the pieces came out pretty good. Sometimes the multicolor printing did not quite work out and I would have to reprint the part, but overall these pieces mostly print just fine. So I ended up doing 3 different designs. It's quite hard to pick a favorite from these. I might have gone a bit overboard with the design, but I guess if you want to make a system, there is no avoiding of making tons of boxes, which I'm not even sure where I'm going to use them. That's it for now. Bye!